Hi guys, I'm Sneha and you are watching my channel Book Junction. Welcome to today's vlog. So I'm vlogging after a really long time, and it has been quite a long time that I haven't posted a video. Basically, I missed posting a video this week and I feel really bad about it. But if you have read my community post, then you would know that I got vaccinated recently and somehow I faced a lot of side effects. So I will not repeat all of that. If you are interested, you can read that community post. But for today's vlog, I thought let's just catch up about everything. So that's why I'm vlogging. Let me just fix this camera first. Yeah, this is cool. So yeah, the weather is amazing and I thought that I'll just start vlogging without thinking anything what I will do in today's vlog. What happens is that I start overthinking so much when it comes to my vlogs. I think that what I'm showing you in the vlog should be worth your time, and I cannot just ramble in the vlog. I should have a fixed plan that this is what I'm gonna do, and usually your days don't turn out like that. Like, there are so many things that you're doing and maybe everything is not worth the time of the audience. So I think so much about that and I try to incorporate so many things in my vlog that I don't end up vlogging. So vlogging kind of requires a level of spontaneity which I feel like I don't have enough of. I'm not spontaneous enough and I think I need to work on that. So anyway, from today onwards, then you got neighbors who just start screaming anyway. So yeah, the point is I need to be spontaneous enough and just embrace the fact that I can somehow sometimes just share things that I like with you guys without overthinking it. And if you guys love me, then you would definitely watch it and I'm sure that it will be worth your time. So anyway, today I am going to share with you my current reads, what I'm reading these days in non-fiction and fiction. And as you guys know that I got the Kitabi mystery box recently, and since I was sick in the past few days, so I've already finished 3 books from that box. So here are the 3 books that I finished from the mystery box. The first one is Dean Koontz' Odd Hours. Now if you have not watched my mystery box video, then you should definitely watch that because I have showed you all the books properly in that. So this is the first book that I finished from the box, and when I made that video I told you guys that I'm the most excited for this one because I have read around 4 to 5 books by Dean Koontz, and I feel like if you are picking up a Dean Koontz book, it cannot go wrong. I don't know how this author does this, but his books are thrilling, his books are page turners. Like, if you pick the book, you will need to know what will happen in the end. Now this book was really weird. The protagonist of this book is Odd. His name is Odd, which is supremely odd, but anyway, we will try to ignore that. Next I read Anita Bruckner's book Undue Influence. This is the book. Now this book was such a pleasant surprise. So the thing is, when I was reading this book, I was constantly reminded of Daphne du Maurier's book Rebecca. Now there is no similarity in the plot of the books, but the writing, it just reminded me a lot about the book Rebecca, and that's one of my most favorite classics ever. That's a gothic fiction and I love that book, and I've never found another book that has ever reminded me of Rebecca this way. So this book did that and I am so happy about that. The writing is absolutely beautiful. It's like a melody. I don't even know how to explain the way the author has captured that loneliness in words. It's absolutely unprecedented, and the story is again very mysterious, but in a very charming way. The best part about getting these mystery boxes, whether it's the 99bookscard.com box or the Used Books Factory or Kitabe, I think the best part about these mystery boxes is that they introduce you to authors who you wouldn't have read otherwise. My experience with these boxes have been great till now, so I don't have any regrets of getting these boxes. The next book that I finished is this one, Jigs and Reels by Joanne Harris. Now this book is a collection of short stories, and the stories in this book are absolutely crazy. Like, I mean, I don't even have enough words. There was this story about a cookbook that a lady gets from her mother-in-law, and in that cookbook there are some weird recipes and a lot of weird things happen in the story also. So it's not a collection of very conventional stories. These stories are crazy, absolutely crazy. It's written over here, tantalizing and suggestive by Sunday Times, and I totally agree. The stories are absolutely tantalizing and suggestive. Alright, so now let's talk about my current non-fiction reads. So the first one is How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LePera. I have finished, like I've almost finished it, but I'm here on the 10th chapter. So I've got 4 more chapters to finish this book, and the second one is this one, Quiet by Susan Cain. I love how this book looks, like it's so pretty. Now this book is about the power of introverts in the world that can't stop talking, which is so nice because I am an introvert. I am a complete introvert. I haven't reached very far in this book yet, so I'm on page 49, but I'm enjoying it a lot. Let's see if I will enjoy it completely or not, but this one I am loving it, and I will read the rest of the 4 chapters right now. Now a Book Junction vlog is incomplete without a recipe or something to eat, so I'm gonna go make a mug cake. Now mug cakes are very easy because obviously you just need a mug and you put all ingredients in it and bake it for only 2 to 3 minutes in a microwave, and that's it, and you eat it from there, so you don't have to wash a lot of utensils after that. And if you guys make the recipe, then definitely tag me in your posts on Instagram. Trust me, I was so happy to see that so many of you guys made the mood board. You guys recreated it and you created such beautiful mood boards. I'm still getting some of them in my DM, so the response was amazing and I loved it. So if you make the mug cake, definitely post it on your Instagram story, and you can mention me. I will definitely repost and I will also get to see also. So this is the mug that I am using. Make sure that the mug that you are using is microwave proof. I have added around 6 pieces of dark chocolate along with a little bit of milk and oil. You can use any refined oil. Now I will just microwave it for 1 or 2 minutes. 2 minutes maybe, but I will keep checking, otherwise you never know, it might get burned. So this is what it looks like after just 1 minute. It's already melting, so I don't need to put it inside the microwave anymore. I'll just mix it well and then I'll add the other ingredients. Just see how beautiful the chocolate looks. Now you can also add butter if you want. I added simple edible oil. Now I am going to add 3 spoons of maida and 4 spoons of sugar. And then I will mix it well. I also added a little bit of milk here because the batter got really thick. So just keep adding milk or oil whenever you feel like the batter is becoming a bit too thick, in case it does. Please be careful. It's not that hot. Oh my god. I am so satisfied with this right now. Yay! Alright, so it's time to taste the cake. So this is how it looks. First of all, it looks so nice today. I think this is the best mug cake I have made till now. If you guys make this, definitely tag me in your stories. I would love to see. Anyway, now it's time to taste it. I hope it's tasty as well. What happens sometimes, you make something, it looks really nice, but it doesn't taste good. What's the point of that? Let's see. Wait, let me show you this first. Guys, vlogging is difficult. This is actually so tasty. I'm so proud of myself today. So then I sat down to read the book How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LePera. The book is about recognizing your patterns, healing from your past, and creating yourself. She starts the book by talking about mind, body, soul connection and how choiceless she felt in her training initially as a psychologist. She talks about the separation of mind and body that holds medicine back from its potential for healing, and that sometimes also makes us even sicker. So basically she didn't like the symptom management approach, and that's why she moved towards a holistic way of bringing healing and wellness in our lives. What I loved a lot about this book is how she has established the relationship between our conditioning that we receive in our childhood and the way we have become as adults. She writes that our attachments in our earliest years set the groundwork for our subconscious beliefs. We learn what a relationship looks like from watching those closest to us in relationships. We learn how to feel about our bodies by observing how our parents feel about their bodies. We learn whether or not to prioritize self-love. So our environment while growing up has a lot to do with our personality as adults, and we need to understand that. Only then we will be able to heal ourselves from that by doing the work. And that's exactly what this book is all about, how to do the work so that we understand and change in order to live a better life and heal ourselves. So in this book you will get to learn a lot about your conscious self. You will get to learn about your trauma body, mind body healing practices, the power of belief, meeting your inner child, ego stories, trauma bonds, boundaries, reparenting, emotional maturity and interdependence. So these are the topics that will help you to bring positive changes in every sector of your life. I personally loved this particular part that was all about the origin of belief. So basically she says that a belief is a practiced thought grounded in lived experiences. Beliefs are built over years of thought patterns and require both interior and external validation to thrive. Now when a belief is repeatedly validated, it can become what is called a core belief. Core beliefs are our deepest perceptions about our identity that were installed in our subconscious often before the age of 7. Now, the problematic part is that many of our core beliefs are unfortunately shaped by traumas. That is why it is so important for us to heal those traumas. If we do not identify them, if we do not work on them to change them, then our core beliefs will always be shaped by them, and anything that is shaped by trauma cannot lead to something positive. That's why it's so imperative to read this book to heal yourself from all those traumas. These core beliefs that are set in your subconscious mind could be the reason that you are struggling in your work, in your relationship, in your career, or it could be anything. So that's why it's very important to read this book. I highly recommend this book. I feel like it's a must read for everyone, and the writing is also very simple. It's absolutely beginner friendly. So if you have not read any other non-fiction books before, you can totally pick this book because it's written in such an accessible language. It's very easy. So don't worry about the writing. You will definitely understand it if you know basic English. Also, you can follow Dr. Nicole LePera on Instagram. Her Instagram handle goes by the name The Holistic Psychologist. She shares so much free stuff there as well, and I think that information is just as useful as the book. Alright guys, so that was all for today's video. I really hope that you all enjoyed this video and found it valuable. If you did, then definitely like, share and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. I go by the name book_junction. I share a lot of bookish stuff there as well. I share some aesthetic reels related to reading and books. So if you are interested, you can follow me there as well. And I will see you in my next video. Until then, bye bye.